These are the 10 most powerful classical pieces ever written, but only one stands above all. The Toccata and Fugue in D minor, BWV 565, and the Passacaglia in C minor, BWV 582, reveal a mastery of counterpoint. Lines interwoven with mathematical precision build tension and release across vast cathedral spaces. By layering voices in fugue and repeating a relentless Passacaglia theme, Bach creates sonic architecture that demands both intellectual rigor and pedalboard virtuosity. These works became the blueprint for harmonic structure, shaping generations of composers who followed. Written in the final days of Mozart's life and left unfinished at his death, the piece carries an air of myth, its completion entrusted to his student Franz Xaver Swissmayr. The Lacrimosa, built around a descending minor sixth motif, captures raw grief in every trembling phrase. Dark orchestration with low brass and muted strings deepens the atmosphere of mourning, while the relentless drive of the Désiré evokes the terror of judgment. The unresolved ending, shaped by uncertainty and loss, amplifies the Requiem's emotional density. Here, funerary drama and the mystery of its creation combine to make Mozart's final work a powerful testament to the human response to mortality. Premiered in 1743 at the Foundling Hospital, Messiah drew crowds not just for its music, but for the experience of massed voices, more than 100 singers and a full orchestra lifting the famous Hallelujah chorus. Handel's design put the choir at the center, building power through repeated calls and responses, and culminating in a fortissimo climax that still prompts audiences to stand. The tradition began in the 1740s, a visible sign of communal awe. Messiah's annual performances worldwide testify to its enduring force, marking the moment when classical music became a shared public ritual. It premiered in Vienna, Austria in 1824, and it shattered the boundaries of the classical symphony. For the first time, a composer brought soloists and a full chorus into the heart of a symphonic finale, transforming the fourth movement into a communal declaration with Schiller's Ode to Joy. The choral forces, unprecedented in scale, join with the orchestra to proclaim a vision of universal brotherhood, a message so enduring that its melody now serves as the anthem of the European Union. The symphony's monumental structure, from the relentless drive of its opening to the explosion of voices at the end, expanded the symphonic form into a statement for all humanity. Beethoven's Ninth stands as the moment when orchestral music reached for the world beyond the concert hall. In works like the Ballade No. 1, narrative drama unfolds through sudden contrasts. Lyrical melodies erupt into storms of rapid octaves and cascading arpeggios, demanding a pianist's full technical command. The Etude Opus 10, No. 12, known as the Revolutionary, drives relentless left-hand octaves across the keyboard, a musical echo of political turmoil in Chopin's native Poland. These pieces stretch the hand's reach, explore chromatic harmonies, and turn the solo piano into a stage for both personal confession and public spectacle. In the salons of Paris, Chopin proved that a single instrument, when pushed to its expressive and physical limits, could match the emotional impact of the grandest orchestra. The opening silence shatters as the Dies Irae unleashes a wall of brass and percussion, a sudden fortissimo that jolts both performers and audience. Verdi assigns the soloists roles drawn straight from the stage. Soprano, mezzo, tenor, and bass become characters locked in a struggle for salvation. The chorus, trained in the Milanese tradition, surges and retreats like a living force, amplifying every plea and every terror in the text. Unlike earlier sacred works, Verdi's Requiem channels the emotional immediacy of Italian opera into the concert hall, transforming the liturgy into a theatrical spectacle. Here, the power lies in the collision of religious awe and human passion, as sacred music is reborn with the urgency of life and death. Draws its force from a concentrated emotional narrative and a palette of dark orchestral colour. It premiered in St. Petersburg just days before the composer's death, and the symphony's final movement breaks with tradition, ending not in triumph but in despair. The closing adagio lingers in an unresolved D minor, the strings and low brass sinking into a register rarely explored so deeply in earlier symphonies. Tchaikovsky's orchestration pushes the lower tessitura to its limits, building a sound world of brooding intensity, with cellos and basses carrying the weight of the composer's own turmoil. Russian audiences at the premiere were left in stunned silence, confronted by a work that refused resolution. The Pathétique stands apart for its willingness to embrace tragedy, using orchestral innovation to make sorrow itself a source of overwhelming power. With a force that is both dazzling and relentless. The second concerto, premiered in Moscow in 1901 after the composer's long depression, sweeps from the opening bell-like chords into a surge of lyricism, the piano and orchestra fusing in waves of melody that seem to rise and fall without end. The third concerto, first heard at Carnegie Hall in 1909, is infamous for its technical extremity. Massive chords demand a handspan of up to 19 centimeters, a reach that even most professionals struggle to achieve. Vladimir Horowitz called it the Everest of the piano repertoire, a summit only the bravest attempt. In both works, the soloist is not just a partner, but a rival to the orchestra, trading thunderous octaves and crystalline runs against a backdrop of late romantic lushness. Audiences have responded with standing ovations since the earliest performances, drawn by the blend of athletic virtuosity and emotional immediacy. Rachmaninoff's concertos unite the grandeur of the symphony with the intimacy of the solo instrument, pushing the limits of what hands and hearts can endure. Composed in Vienna at the dawn of the 20th century, the symphony's 5 movements trace a vast emotional landscape, from the bleak trumpet solo that opens the funeral march to the radiant, life-affirming finale. At its heart lies the adagietto, a movement for strings and harp that Mahler wrote as a wordless love letter, its suspended harmonies and slow unfolding lines offering a moment of pure transcendence. Mahler's use of offstage brass and expanded percussion pushes the boundaries of orchestral sound, building toward climaxes that feel both apocalyptic and redemptive. The mirrored architecture of the symphony, with its arch-like form, creates a sense of cumulative power, every movement intensifying what comes before. Its influence stretches far beyond the concert hall, shaping the sound of 20th century film scores and redefining what a symphony could express. Only one piece changed everything. Igor Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring detonated the boundaries of classical music in a single night. When the Ballets Russes unveiled the work at the Théâtre des Champs-Élysées, the audience erupted into chaos. Police intervened as shouts and blows broke out, triggered by Vaslav Nijinsky's jarring choreography and Stravinsky's score, which pounded with irregular meters and polyrhythms. In the Augurs of Spring, strings hammer a relentless ostinato, while winds and brass collide in accents that defy the bar lines, metric dissonance that shattered every expectation of what music could be. Stravinsky's use of bitonality, layering C major against F sharp, created a harmonic clash that sounded like nothing heard before. The collaboration with Diaghilev, Nijinsky, and designer Nicholas Roerich produced a total assault, primitive, ritualistic, and utterly new. Contemporary press called it a riot. History calls it a revolution. The Rite of Spring did not just innovate, it forced a rupture, redefining musical language and the very idea of artistic power. Across all 10 masterpieces, one truth emerges. True musical power fuses innovation with impact. These works reshape history not by volume or speed, but by altering how we hear and feel. This is not just music, this is power.